everyone, I'm Macho Spike and welcome back to showing off my art. Once again, I am here to show off another generation of art, this one being Gen 5, 6. This is Gen 6. Yeah, because that's Gen 7. Okay, this is Gen 6. I want to put on record that I had red in my hair, it faded out, and that has nothing to do, that is not prominent at all with what I am doing here today, but it's finally time. It's been so long since I've done one, but things are going to start moving a lot more quickly in terms of drawings, assuming, you know, my school schedule is not too busy, then I'll be able to draw a lot more and get a lot more done, and things will move a lot more quickly. I want to put out there first off that this generation is very repetitive, because this generation especially was all about completing things that I had already started. And there were a lot more of some of the characters that I went back and completed than I thought there were. So this generation is really just all about finishing what had already begun. So yeah, nevertheless, let us get started with showing off my art. So last time, in the 5th generation, we finished off, I should say, with Colonel Ruffs, the comradic brawler that at the time had just come out, who was very new. And that was the last brawler generation. So obviously, you know, with him comes the first person we do this generation. Continuing on Colonel Ruffs, we got Ronin Ruffs, obviously being the skin you get for the Brawl Pass if you got Colonel Ruffs in the Brawl Pass. So this is his skin, obviously traced by him, using the same colors for brown, gold Sharpie did, because back at the time, way back when, I used to use gold Sharpie to outline the areas of like a character that were brown, but weren't like a dark brown like the ears. So back then, this was all outlined in gold, and then colored in light brown, which is not the case these days, but this one was. So it's got several shades of blue. It's got sounds, all that. This one I made by myself. The other ones, like I said, sometimes with Brawl Stars characters, I take like a picture of them from online, whether it's DrawAnything or that guy that wears like that has like the box head. This one was my own doing entirely, just based off of the Colonel Ruffs from before. So nevertheless, this is Colonel Ruffs. He's got a little sword there. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot. So there you go. And that kicked off the 6th generation. Good God. But next we have the at the time most recent skin for Penny, Smuggler Penny. I haven't been able to show you guys yet, but I actually do have Smuggler Penny, so it's really cool that I get to show you this now. But Smuggler Penny at the time had just come out, and I remember the boys telling me, like, when I showed them, like, yo guys, I finished Smuggler Penny. They're like, bro, you managed to draw the skin that, better than it looks in the actual game. And I was just like, oh, because they're not the biggest fans of this skin, but I actually really like it. So, you know, I got the purples. It's got a few different greens. It's got like a swampy kind of green for most of it. You can see in the camera, but it's got like a swampy kind of green for most of it, and then it's got like a lighter green up here and whatnot. Unfortunately, with how this character is positioned, I couldn't draw the pink like ponytail in the back, but nevertheless, it's still there. Traced off of the original Penny, or yeah, traced off of default Penny, not Bunny Penny, not any of those, but traced off default Penny. So, yeah, so I got this one. 2 holes right there, no cuts, nothing else. Next, obviously, when we do Penny, next comes the turret. So you're gonna notice very, very quickly, this starts off as Brawl Stars, but it doesn't end as Brawl Stars. It goes nowhere near Brawl Stars. This is, in recent memory, one of the least Brawl Star generations. That didn't make any sense, and I could have worded that a lot better, but point is, Brawl Stars has very little to do with this generation. Nevertheless, Smuggler Penny's turret, traced off the original turret, and using the same colors as Smuggler Penny. So it's there. I don't know what else to say. There's no cuts on anything like that. It's a little big, in my opinion. I'd probably change that about it, but otherwise, it's pretty good. Next up, we've got the Brocks. So, first off is default Brock, right? 2 different shades of blue. Actually, roughly 3. So we've got the navy blue to make the glasses. We've got the regular blue to make the hair and the jacket. And then we've got the navy blue again, but I'm using it very lightly to make the color of the jeans. And then we've got the navy blue again to make the shoes. But yeah, nevertheless, this is Brock. He's got a cut, a hole right there, and he's got a cut right there. This is one of the few brawlers with the cuts. He's got a cut right there. But here he is. It's pretty cool. Very determined. The next in the long line, chosen by Austin. This is when we were still chosen by Austin. So yeah, I don't have anything clever to say about him. So there he is. And now we start going through all the skins, obviously, because that's what we do here with Brawl Stars. So next is Hot Rod Brock. Accidentally, I made him the smallest of all the Brocks. He's not that different in size. He's also not traced. This is by DrawAnything, but I forgot to mention that. This is by DrawAnything. This model of Brock. That's why I got this one. So props to them again. I'll link them in the description below, as I do every time. This one is also from DrawAnything. This is the only other Brock skin that DrawAnything did of Brock. So I did that one first to get out of the way. But if I put them side to side, it's kind of hard. Okay, well he's a bit. Let me see if there's a different way of showing this. He's a bit like. He's a bit taller than Brock, I should say, but as you can see, his outlines and everything are a lot smaller than Brock. He's a lot slimmer, I should say, than Brock. But he's a lot. I think he might be the tallest. Actually, no, that's probably a lie in mine. But Hot Rod Brock, another skin I have now. My favorite Brock. He's got a hole right there. No cuts on him this time. So there's the Hot Rod. I like it. I like the perspective on the rocket launcher. That's one thing I can really say I like about DrawAnything's model for Brock. I really love the perspective they have for the rocket launcher. But now we move on to me doing all the skins. This one traced off of default Brock, obviously. It's got a hole right there. It's got his little shark face. I think I did well on the shark thing. It's got his towel, it's got his flip-flops. Head's still the same. Head's using the same colors and all that. But yeah, this is Beach Brock. So yeah. I don't know what to say. This uses 2 different grays. The reds on the missiles are the same thing as the reds from before as well. Brown's still the same. All that's still the same. It's still the same. Now, we move on to another one traced off of default Brock. This one is Boombox Rock. She's got a hole right there, same as I think this one's actually the tallest. Actually, is it the tallest? Because the next one seems pretty tall. No, this one's still taller. I'm pretty sure this one is the tallest of all the Brock skins. Obviously this is the first one that doesn't really have glasses. And he's got his chain there. Again, done by me. He's got his little speaker right there by his ear, little knob. And the rest is still the same. His hat's pretty decent, could have done that better. I'm using the same pink for this one as I did for the Beach Brock. But yeah, green's pretty new. You'll see me use the same green for the next Brock, but yeah, so that's Boombox Brock, no cuts on him. Pretty neat. And then we've got Old School Brock. This one I actually had a hard time doing, not because it was hard to do this Brock, but because I was debating whether or not I was going to do this model of Brock and the other model of Brock that was initially this, or if I was just going to do this one, or I was just going to do the other one. I was very conflicted about it. I don't think there's any significant changes, which is why I haven't done the next one yet. I mean, I will be going back and finishing all the Brock skins I haven't done yet. But this is Old School Brock. Same green used, same red used, same blues used and all that. We've got the star thing right there. This is the updated version of Brock. I should mention that. I don't know if I forget if the old model looks the same. I'll have to go and look that up. I just got a hole right there. But this is the updated model of what Brock's default skin used to be. It's called the old school skin for that reason, but I don't know if it's the same. Also, 2 different browns. Very subtle difference, but the beard is a different shade of brown than the face. He also looks a lot more pissed, but I don't know why that is. That's out of my hands. Next, we got one that honestly I'm a bit 50-50 about in terms of how I did on it, and that is the Lion Dance Brock. It could be better, it could be worse. I do like my missile launcher. It's got a hole right there. But aside from that, I don't know if I like how I drew this one. I'm not saying I'll go back and redo it. I won't. I'm iffy about it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really iffy about how I did this one. There's just something off about it. I don't know if it's the colors. I mean, the red is the same I've used for every other thing. The blues are the same. The browns are the same. But I don't know what I'd change about it. That's the problem. I don't know what I would do about it to make it better. It's just one of those things that I don't know if I could have drawn any better to begin with, because there are some things that, you know, look really good but don't fit into the paper style. So I don't know. But alas, the final Brawl Stars thing you're gonna see for a while, and by a while I mean until the end of the generation, is Super Ranger Brock, the off-brand Power Ranger skin that came when Surge was the newest chromatic brawler. So he's got his rocket launcher there. This one is the only one without brown, which is interesting. It's got a hole right there. I really like this skin. I think I did it really well. It's a shame I can't get this skin in the actual game, but I really like this skin. It's very cool. Uses the same blue that one of the previous Brock skins, I think it was Old School, had in terms of light blues. It actually uses 2 different blues of its own kind. Because no Brock goes. Actually, that's a lie. It uses 3 blues because it's got like the blues here, the main source of blue. It's got the light blues right here, and then it's got the baby blue or whatever that is right there. So it's got 3 blues, which is a new record for Brock. But there we go. So next time you guys see Brock, I'll be doing his True Gold, True Silver skins, and his old Beach Brock skin, as well as maybe his old model. But that's yet to be seen. Nevertheless, now we go back to skins that I didn't enjoy drawing in terms of regular Mario stuff. I got Old School Wendy drawn to the template of regular Wendy, or I should say modern paper Wendy. This is how she looked back in Super Mario Bros. 3, just modernized. So not the worst thing in the world, but honestly, like I said, I did enjoy drawing these. If you haven't checked out the other videos, I recommend you watch them first, because I make a lot of callbacks to them. I didn't enjoy doing the Koopalings and their old models, but I wanted to finish it off given the fact that I'd already done a few of them beforehand. It was just a big mess. I didn't do it well. Whatever. But this is how Wendy looked in Super Mario Bros. In Super Mario World. So obviously traced off of Wendy, designed differently in a pipe. Yeah. This is how she is. There you go. There's the Wendy's done. Wendy's out of here. But since I want to finish them up, and I wasn't looking forward to this one. If there was any Koopaling I wasn't looking forward to, it was Morton, because Morton Jr. takes more than 1 page, which made things complicated. So on top of drawing these really bad, I had to then go and use another page because Morton, like every variation of Morton, has a cut right there that goes down like that, and that's it. But it's still a waste of my time. Nevertheless, it's a weird shade of brown, but he's like a really light brown. He's got a yellow star and a gray shell. It's very weird. This is the Morton, like every other Koopaling, the first one I drew in terms of variations. This is what Morton looked like in his debut in Super Mario Bros. 3. So there you go. Done in modern version, traced off Morton Koopa Jr., the one I ever did. And this one kind of reminds me of Bowser a lot. is Morton from Super Mario World. Obviously, there you can see I've given up because I didn't want to do this initially. But you can see I've given up because I didn't even finish the eyelash of Morton right here. I wanted to be done with these so bad. But here we go. Here he is, still there. Same orange I used for all the other ones. The green is the same one I used for Brock and everything. So there you go. Morton is now done too, and I don't know if I've even touched the Koopalings since, but they've deserved a rest period. Next up, we actually go see. This is where things start to get interesting. I don't know if it happened around this time. I think it was in the later generation. I don't think it was this one. I think this one was just me. This one was this generation was me more going through my camera roll, seeing what I had and whatnot. And I have, for those of you who don't know, in my camera roll, I want to say about 50. It's starting to shrink to a quarter. It's getting close to a quarter, but I'd still say it's more so half of my camera roll is pictures of paper characters that I have yet to draw, just so I remember to do them. And this one, the next one I'm about to show you, is actually one that took a very, it was one of the first ones on my camera roll, so it's been there for a long time. And this one is traced off of Princess Peach, or a better version of Princess Peach, one without the dislocated shoulder. And it's actually much taller than Princess Peach. But this is the Shroom Queen from Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. You can tell it's done by Peach because the little, it's kind of screwed up around the waist part still. It's not my best drawing of it. Didn't really have any idea what I was supposed to be doing there. But I knew I needed to do something. So it was around this time I was watching either Omwrecker's Detroit Become Human, or I was watching Prosifia Gaming's commentary-less full playthrough of Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, which I have to actually go back and do her big sister, I believe it is, the really bulky one with the tentacles and all that. I swear it's not hentai, but I have to go back and do that one. But for now, this one, it's got two pinks used, a pink for the crows right here, the little designs right here, you can't really tell due to the lighting. And then you got the pink right here. Actually, it might be three pinks because there's a darker pink used for these two. The face, I think, is primarily where I excelled at, because that was the most difficult part. It was taking the body of Peach and incorporating the Shroom Queen to it to make her. So, but I think I nailed it. Just got a cut right there, and that makes her the tallest one. Yeah. So this one, honestly, I feel like I could have done the general body of this Shroom Queen better, but hey, I get a second chance. I get a chance of redemption when I do the bulky. I didn't do the bulky version initially because I thought it was just another version of that character, and I had so much I want to get out of the way that I didn't really do that character. But then I realized there was a different character entirely, so I still have yet to do that character. Now this one is also done by Peach, but this one is done much better than Peach. It's Zelda. The first character I've done in the Legend of Zelda. You'll see me throughout the generations sometimes sprinkle characters here and there. I've done Pikachu, I've done Pokemon, I've done a bit of Splatoon. You'll see me dip in every kind of game. So this is the first showing of Legends of Zelda, and she's got a cut right there. She's she's shorter than the Shroom Queen. I think she might be slightly shorter than the princesses, so she's the shortest of all of them. I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, here's Zelda, arguably one of the most detailed. One purple used, just colored lightly. No, actually two purples, because there's a darker purple right here. But this kind of purple and the purple on her gloves, those are the same purple, just different types of shading. The brown, same shading method I used for that one Morton Koopa Jr. that I don't like, except it's done well here and with intent. I was really debating whether I'd go and trace this one 7 other times to do the Super Smash Bros. Skins, because all of these characters have Super Smash Bros. Skins, and I I didn't know if I was going to do them. I have been debating that for very long. If there's any one thing that has stood the test of time when I'm debating what I'm going to draw, it's if I'm going to do all the color variations from Super Smash Brothers. And it's the one question that I'm always 50-50 on. I don't know. Because the goal of drawing all these things is to do all the variations of them. But it's the same character, just different colors, which you can make the argument for Brawl Stars. But Brawl Stars is still different because at least the characters look relatively different. So, am I? I don't know. I'm not doing it yet, but it's still an argument that's up for debate that I might end up popping back to eventually. So keep that in mind. You might see more of her in the future. But nevertheless, Zelda, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm very happy with how that turned out. Now we take a look at a different princess. This one's also been on my chopping block for a while. And this one's actually weird because this is from Final Fantasy, but I didn't know it's from Final Fantasy because I've only seen this one in Mario Hoops 3-on-3, which if you don't know is one of my favorite Mario games on the DS. I love that game. I've raged at it a lot. I have raged at that game a lot because it can be very unfair. But I do still love that game very, very much. It's a big part of my childhood. I mean, I'm still growing up, but like my young years. So this is the White Mage. This is from Final Fantasy. I don't know which game, I don't know what. If you look at the way the body is, the body structure is, you'll notice that this is a trace of my wife Rosalina, which it is. I traced this off Rosalina because, not because that was my initial thought process or anything. I actually didn't really notice the similarities for like the longest time until I started drawing it. The only reason I traced this off Rosalina is because the template I found, I shouldn't say template, but the pictures I found, because I was trying to look for like source material to use in order to like get a decent understanding of how a paper white mage would look, because I didn't know much about the character. To get like a general idea, I looked up online, and one of the pictures, it wasn't the best picture in the world, but one of the pictures had a picture of like a paper Rosalina, but done as the white mage. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take this, and I'll take a high, not paper version. I shouldn't say a high. Okay, starting over. To draw this character, I used 2 pictures. I had 2 pictures on my camera of this character. One was a crappy, edited over version of a paper Rosalina done to look like the white mage. The other was a high definition picture of the white mage, not Paper Mario style, but just a general picture. It might have been from Mario Hoops 3-on-3, I'm not sure, I don't think it was. Nevertheless, this is the white mage. So it took 2 to tango. But yeah, nevertheless, I did it, which makes her... Is she the tallest? She's not the tallest. She's slightly taller than Zelda, but not taller than the Shroop Queen. She's got a cut right there, and a cut right there, and a cut right there. So similar to Rosalina. I actually never realized that. It didn't even cross my brain that these two both cover their eye with their hair. So it's like, oh my god, that's actually gonna work. I mean, I think it's actually flipped a bit because Rosalina's hair goes the other way. I think from the one that I drew versus this one. So that was a little challenging, but nevertheless, yeah. I think the most challenging part, the part that I didn't know how to do, so I didn't do too well, was the crown. As you can see there, it's nothing special. It's actually not that well done. I apologize for that. I meant to do that better, but I didn't. And I honestly, if I went back and did it, I wouldn't change anything but the crown. Nevertheless, that's the crown. This is the white mage. I actually really like the white mage. I like how she turned out, and she's part of a trio that I have yet to draw. Like, she's 1 in 3 Final Fantasy characters that made it into Hoops 3-on-3, because actually there's other characters that appeared in Final Fantasy, but I always rank it as a trio because the final boss of Mario Hoops 3-on-3 is White Mage, Black Mage, and Ninja. And I still to this day have pictures of the Black Mage and Ninja, not the YouTuber, streamer, Fortnite gamer Ninja, I mean Ninja from Final Fantasy. I still have pictures of Ninja, and I have pictures of the Black Mage on my phone. So Eventually I gotta do them, but this one's just the easiest to do because I found a paper template to go off of. The other ones will take a little bit more me, per se. Yeah, there she is. So, there you go. And then we finish out. That's it for like the camera roll. Like we did a bit of diving into camera roll, and now we really get into what I meant by I finish what I started. Because now we go into variations of characters that I've done before. As you know, if you watched the other ones, which I'm assuming you have if you're at this one, especially this far, for Mario characters, I use this website known as the Super Mario Wiki, which tells you all about the games, the power-ups, the level designs, the music, I think in some cases, and what I use it primarily for, the characters. It tells you like stuff about the characters, background information, its first appearance and all that, its latest appearance, but it also tells you characters that are similar to it. It tells you about like variations of that character. It tells you a lot about the character in its general species per se. So the first thing I went back and did was I took the Rock Spike. That doesn't sound right. That does not sound right to me. I took the Spike. I always know the names every time I look at the character off camera, and then the one time I get on camera to talk about the character, I always forget the name. You know Spike, the guy that vomits projectiles and then throws them at you. It's a lot less gross than it sounds. Well, you take his counterpart, the ones that are blue, that vomit like these rock versions of those things, and throws them at you. As you know, I did him in an earlier generation. It might have been Gen 5. And it turned out very well. So I was like, hey, let me look on the Mario Wiki, see if Spike has any other like characters of himself for me to do. I'll check him out, I'll draw him. That's what we'll do. And there was a lot more versions of Spike than I thought there was. Like, there was a lot. I mean, not too much. There's gonna be characters that have more, but there was a lot. Oh yeah. But the first one that I did, and this one I had already known existed because I played New Super Mario Bros. DS, is Snow Spike, traced off of Rock Spike. It's got a cut right there, and this one's a bit iffy for me. I don't know if I did this. I think if I could change it, I'd do the hat better. I think that's the one thing that's throwing me off. I think the rest is pretty decent. The hat's throwing me off. But I already knew this one existed. This was the one that I knew existed. So I was like, huh. Now that I know about this character, let me see if there's other Spikes out there. And so I'll show you the other Spikes out there, but nevertheless, I did this one. Same size and everything as the other Spike. But yeah, so it's Spike. Nothing's really different. Eyes are actually in the same spot. The eyes are in the same spot, just without the extra eyes. But yeah, so there's Spike, Snow Spike. This is Snow Spike. It's pretty cool. I like the character a lot. I've been waiting for a while to do these characters. Just a shame I didn't do him better. I'm not saying I'll go back and redo him. It's not that bad, but I wish I gave this character a bit more respect. But that's just the artist talking. Now we get into variations of Spike that I didn't know were variations of Spike, and B, didn't know existed. But this character actually this character is very easy because this character is actually from a Paper Mario game. And Parker is very happy to see his character be done because, well, he knows his character. This is not a character I would have done if I didn't search up Spike on the Mario Wiki. This is Macho Grubba. It's a grubba, right? They're called Macho Grubbas. I don't know why I'm saying macho. Macho. They're Macho Grubba. Very weird name. But this guy's from a Paper Mario game. I don't remember which one, and I don't know much about him because I haven't seen it. I did watch a Persifia. I don't know if I have actually yet. But if it's on the Mario Wiki, then it's gotta be true because it's all about Mario. Nevertheless, it's got a hole right there between his feet. He's bigger than the other Spike. He's actually pretty big. He's actually shorter than the regular Spikes, but he's much wider. He's got a lot more cuts. Actually, currently holds the record for most cuts in this generation from what we've seen so far. So he's got a hole right there. He's got a cut right there, and then a cut right there. So thank God that this guy was from Paper Mario, because it makes it very easy to do this guy. I don't need to look up a template or anything. Maybe I just look at the paper version. The paper version's there because it's the only version of him online. But this is the Macho Grubba, and you might be wondering why didn't I do regular Grubba first? It's because I was debating which one to do, and this one, for some reason, I think I saw this one first, or I just saw him more often online. I don't know. I think I thought this one was the more legit version, which is why I did it first. But this guy is just the brawn to what I'm assuming is the brains. By the way, same orange I used for the hat of Snow Spike. But this guy came next. Grubba. This is regular Grubba. This guy is the regular Grubba. And I didn't do him first, which is a little bit weird. But nevertheless, I did him. Another variation of Spike I didn't know existed. But you can see, especially with this one, the resemblance to Spike. He's got a cut, goes down there. And so, yeah, he's relatively done the same shades of gray, like the glasses are done the same. Orange is used a lot more lightly here than there, which is not done by mistake. The ties are the same color, red, and the shells and the yellow are the same. Like, it's the same shade of purple, the same shade of yellow on the tails and whatnot. Definitely a lot more blue on this one, contrary to the Macho Go. This is another paper character from an actual Paper Mario game, so I'm very happy I didn't have to like try and convert a 3D model to a paper thing, because this one is already in a 2D model. Thank God. But there he is. There's the things done. So yeah. So this is what I mean by I finished what I had started. I started Spike a while back, didn't read too much into him, and now I'm going back and I'm doing all the variations of the character. And you're gonna see me do that with, I think, 2 other characters that I've already done, so it's very interesting. These ones look a lot like Spike, and I think I have seen pictures of before, but I kind of rolled my eyes on it because I was like, those are just lazy versions from an earlier game. They're not, they're their own characters. These are called Clubbas. Or at least this Clubba is a Clubba, which was a very weird character for me to do. He's got a cut right there, and he's got cuts right there, and a hole right there that has been filled in. Sorry for that voice crack, my voice is starting to go down. But this guy, the ball was very weird for me to do, but nevertheless, this is the Clubba. Same green that I used for the best of the Grubba, and this guy's name is Clubba. He's got a hole right there and a hole right there. Honestly, I could see the resemblance between him and Spike, but I think this guy's also from a Paper Mario game, or at least something close to it, because this guy was either like already a paper character or was very easy to transfer into a paper character. So nevertheless, here is Clubba, another character I wouldn't have done if I didn't search anything up, so thank God for the Mario Wiki. Honestly, I love that thing to death. It saved me so many times. Nevertheless, this one gets another thing because there's actually a variation of this character. Hence why I said they when I was introducing it, because there's a white Clubba. It's a white Clubba. So I did the same. There's obviously a hole right there filled. I actually managed to fit on one page, so there is a smaller cut right here. Not a bigger cut. It's just this little area right here that is the cut, and there's a big cut at the top. Nevertheless, that's done pretty well. And then the cut here is the same anyways. But this one obviously took a lot less time because the majority of him is white. So, you know, I don't want to sound racist. I'm not trying to sound racist. And if you take this racistly, then screw you, because that's not my intent. I'm not implying it in a racist way. Shut up. If you take it as a racist thing, that's your own fault. I don't mean it as a racist thing. I've already acknowledged that it sounds racist and that I don't mean it to be. So if you still, for some reason, take this as racist, you're an asshole. It's all your fault, not mine. But I much prefer the white characters. because I don't have to add a lot of detail to them. They're very easy to do because the paper is already white. So, like, I didn't have to color all this in white, it's already white. That's why I like doing the boos. I like the boos because they're white. They're just white bodies of ghosts. I'm not a racist. This is just easy. Unlike black characters with black bodies, like the Bullet Bill. They are black, and it is very annoying to do them because it takes up a lot of the primary color that exists in every single drawing that I do, black, and I don't need that. So black characters are very annoying to do, white characters are. That is not in any way what I think of people in society. That is just my drawings, it's just a preference. Like I said, I don't mean it racistly. Don't take this in reality. It's just what I think about how I draw my characters right here. Even calling them characters is still a bit questionable. It's how I draw my art. If you take it in a racist way, it is not my fault. I didn't mean with intent. I shouldn't have to explain this more than I already do. But knowing that this is 2021 and how sensitive people are, I have to. I know it's annoying, but I have to. So there is the white Clubba, done with navy blue instead of gray, white. The orange is still the same. Same navy blue right there. The brown on the stick is still the same. So there you go. Cuts and the holes and whatnot are still the same places. And then we got the final variation, the second final variation of Spike. This one is also, luckily, from a Paper Mario game. I'm very out of tune with Paper Mario, which makes it very weird that I am doing all these in Paper Mario style, but I am just very, very out of tune with Paper Mario. The only Paper Mario game that I've played, I have yet to play Origami King. I have Origami King, but I want to play it on the channel, so my genuine reactions are there. I just don't have the time for it. So the only version of Paper Mario that I have played, and I have not played this on the channel, so don't go searching for it. The only version I've played is Paper Mario Color Splash. That's the only one I've played. The one with the Koopalings. So, yeah. But nevertheless, this is, Tubbalubber. And that's his actual name. It's Tubbalubber. It was very confusing me to learn all about them because there is Grubba, Macho Grubba, Clubba, White Clubba, and then Tubbalubber. I don't get why Nintendo did it the way they did it, but that is just their names. I didn't name them. These are not my creations. This is what Nintendo named them, not me. Yeah, I didn't do it. Nevertheless, it's got cut right there. I'd save this one to last because I was questioning how I was going to do this one, but I could have done this one same way I did the other ones. I think I used the Macho Grubba for inspiration. Not entirely, but I did use it a bit here. And I can't tell you where, but the orange is still the same from the Grubbas. The shell colors are still the same from the Grubbas. The purple you've seen before, earlier in this generation. I don't get what this is. It's kind of like a puzzle piece type thing, but hey, it's there. The blue, I can't say where the blue is from. I've used so many different blues in this generation already. And this guy, I think he's relatively the same height, maybe just under. Yeah, he is very, very, by like a hair, just under Macho Grubba. So there's this guy. Pretty cool. I do like these guys a lot. They're very detailed, very interesting. I did like them. I did enjoy drawing them. They were very fun. And now we go on to a character that I didn't know existed until I did know they existed. Like, I didn't know this character existed, and then the next thing I watched from Prosifia Gaming, I found them out and they did exist. So thanks, Prosifia, for confirming my theory. But this was another one I found on the Mario. I found all these on the Mario Wiki. What am I talking about? But this is the final version of Spike, I think. Yeah, this is the final variation of Spike. So finally, I put an end to the spikes because I finally done Tolstar. Tolstar is from Mario and Luigi, one of the Mario and Luigi games. I forget which one at the moment. Maybe it'll come back to me, I don't know. It's got a cut right there and a cut right there. Obviously with the smallest of all the spikes that I've done, which is not accurate. Tolstar is a very big drawing. He's a very big character in the game. I just drew him very small. Didn't know he existed, and then I watched like a full walkthrough of Prosifia Gaming playing whatever Mario and Luigi game it was, commentary-less, and this guy was like one of the boss battles. He's one of the earlier ones, but he was one of the boss battles. Like, oh my god, that's him! I've drawn him! I know him! And I was so happy. I didn't know he existed. Nevertheless, here it is. Actually, it might be Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. I'm not sure. But there he is. Same color green that was used in like the vest of Macho Grubba, and same color green used in the vest of Grubba and Clubba. I really like this one. Very interesting. I would have done the star a bit better if I did it again. I think I had to look up a template of this guy online because I absolutely knew nothing about him, and I did. I found one. I don't know who it's from. I can't say who it is. I can't give credit where I don't know credit is due. But this had a little bit of inspiration to it. So, nevertheless, there's Clubba. He's all pissed off and everything. I really like Tolstar. This is Tolstar. All the names are confusing me today, but this is Tolstar. Really cool. Really great. I love him. It's very fun to do. And that actually provides a good stopping off point, because next we're about to get into this very long, very boring talk about all the variations of Hammer Bros characters, which once again goes back to what I was saying about finishing what I had started. It's gonna get a little repetitive, but hey, at least with all this, when showing all of these are done over and I have to go back and do all the variations of the characters in this generation that I haven't done yet, it's going to be very easy to do all these because majority of the variations are all finished. So once I finish the few that are still remaining, I can put them all in the box and they'll be all gone, and I can move directly onto the 7th generation. Oh, which is pretty cool. Speaking of which, I want to put out there right now, as of right now while recording, I'm at 776, so I'm almost finished the 8th generation. Right now I'm currently working on Leon at the behest of Parker. I'm working on his default skin right now. But yeah, so very, very cool stuff. Everything's going to be moving very quickly soon. The only problem with that being that I'm going to be doing so many showing off my arts in the near future, that's going to be a long break before I get to the 9th one. But my, what a momentous occasion it will be. So, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm Macho Spike. Like, comment, subscribe for more of this, more gaming vlogs, and better worlds comes. I'll see you all very, very soon. Later, guys.